try your best, but you don't succeed. And you get what you want, but not what you need. And you feel so tired, but you can't sleep. Stuck in reverse. When the tears come streaming down your face. When you lose something you can't replace. When you love someone but he goes to waste. Could it be worse? Welcome. Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones. I will try to fix you. Welcome. Just giving it a few minutes to see if any sisters are going to join me live today. Welcome. And high up above, down below. And I'm also just checking to make sure that I'm zooming into the right space. Oh, if you never try, you'll never know just what you're worth. Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones. I will try to fix you. All right. Welcome. Welcome. If you're joining me live here in our private Facebook group, please leave a little love in the comments, just a little emoji to tell me that you're here. And if you've come back to watch the replay, this is what I love about Zooming live into my Facebook group, is that this lives forever in the space. And so I'm doing this live on April 20th, 2023, but it'll live on forever in the space for as long as the space lives. And that means that you could come back and watch the replay anytime and as many times, and maybe there will be 5 or 6 hearts from you every time you wander back to watch the replay, which I love. So if you're here watching the replay, no matter when it is, please just leave a little bit of love, because it brings me my attention. I get a little notification, and it brings me back to this place and to this exact place and this exact moment. And I promise that if I miss your comment while you're watching live, or when you watch the replay, if you leave a little message, that I will come back and send you a little bit of love back. Okay? So I want to welcome you here. I can't believe this is the 3rd day already. It's a fast, this has been a very quick little masterclass, but a big one. So I want to welcome you to day 3, to our last day together for this tender and important share. And I want to thank you for being here with me in all the ways that you are here with me. There are sisters who are solidly here who set an intention when I first shared this topic and this intention, and who are sending me love and notes and asking me questions and setting up private calls to deepen in. And even sisters who have felt into trusting me to guide them deeper into this healing. And we're going to be working together one-on-one beginning in May, which I love. I love that it has inspired that. There are sisters here with me live, committed to being here with me and leaving comments and love in our community, our circle space. There are sisters who are receiving the replays in private notes from me, and they're receiving these notes each day because they sent me a request to receive it, and they're watching them They're watching these replays, these recordings that I'm sending to them in private messages. They're watching them carefully and tenderly in their own spaces, and then staying close with me in private follow ups because being here in the group with this is too tender for them. There's a small group of sisters who've expressed an interest in having a private group Zoom follow up, so that we can all support each other. And I just love that so much that that kind of made its way to the surface in this share. I love that, and I'm looking forward to being with this group in real energy, so we can see each other's faces and support each other. There are sisters here holding space for me and for all of us with this exact story, witnessing me in my heart sharing courageously, and sisters with stories of beautiful fathers, of loving fathers who don't have the same story, but who are like here supporting us. And they are crying when they hear my share and are sending me so much love and support that it makes me cry too. And there are sisters who are here watching from a distance, who haven't announced themselves, but I can feel you here and I can see you here, and it feels nice to have you here. It feels nice to have all of you here. And where is here? This is going to be our focus for today. But before we do that, let's attune to the energy of the room. Let's us check in with our centers and our truths. Let's us set an intention for dropping into this space and into this share together. Let's us breathe together and feel each other heart to heart to create some connection, some safety, some sisterhood, so that this love that we are will wrap its arms around us as we walk tenderly together today. So let's us close our eyes gently, and with some self-paced breaths, come into your center. So you're just going to follow the breath, find the breath, just catch your breath. Notice the breath, watch the breath. We're going to use the breath today to guide us, as we always do, to come into our centers. This is the starting place that I want to invite you to notice, to be careful with, to attend to before you come into any space and share energy with anyone. With the breath guiding you, check in with yourself here. How are you today? How are you in this moment? And as you scan your body, is there anything speaking to you in this moment that wants your attention? Scanning your body from your crown all the way to your toes. Is there anything that is asking you for its attention? Can you bring your attention to that request, where it lives within you, and just focus your energy there for a moment, giving it your attention? Can you breathe love into this place? And then can you, with a breath, find some space, some softening, some opening, to begin to drop into this space here with me? So can you just open, attending to that place in you that needs some space, but then just dropping into the breath and seeing if you can open to receiving, open to receiving. Can you trust yourself to receive what is here for you and discern what is not here for you? Can you be here with me in this space, in this shared space, receiving the exact magic that is here for you, the exact message that is here for you, the exact medicine, wisdom, little nugget, practice, word, energy, feeling, affirmation, synchronicity, sign, inspiration? I think I said inspiration already. Whatever's here for you, can you receive this exact message that is divinely here for you, that you were guided to, while staying in your center and truth? And can you breathe into this intention, breathing into trusting, breathing into feeling safe, breathing into the love that you are, into the love of this space now that you've been here with me for 2 days. Those of you that are new, that don't know me yet, maybe by now, after 2 shares, if you've been witnessing this full masterclass, you can feel my heart, and there's a level of trust. I don't expect you to trust me fully just after 2 days. But see where you can find your truth with the trust of the moment and the trust of the space that I've given to you or you've experienced with me in just this short amount of time. And those of you that have sat in circle with me or have journeyed with me for a long time, it's easier for you to drop into, like to drop an anchor into this place of trust that you have in me and in the spaces that I facilitate, because I've already proven myself to you. But to those of you that are new, welcome. This is the practice of attunement, of coming into your own center and trusting yourself to discern what is here for you and what doesn't resonate. I fully honor and trust that you will let that fall away and that you will know the difference. Let's take 3 deep breaths together. This first breath, just keeping your eyes gently closed, we're just going to take our attention a little bit to a past version of you. So it's just, it's the you that you are, but it's this past version of you. It's all of the you that is in the past. Maybe from yesterday's share, it's the little you inside. It's every experience that you've experienced and every step that you've taken and every mistake that you've made and every beautiful thing that you've created. It's all this past you. And with this first breath, we're going to just honor all of that and love all of that, this past you. This past you that brought you right here to this moment. Taking a big inhale through your nose and a big exhale out your mouth. And now with your attention, bring your attention into this place beyond this moment. This place where our mind wants to take us often. This future you, this future place that hasn't happened yet. This place that really isn't promised. This place that we're going in the direction of. And just take a moment to linger here and see what comes up for you. Does it have a sense of hope? Is there some fear there? Or worry? Is there a little bit of anxiety there? Is there a little bit of, what's there? Is it like anticipation? Is it joy? Is it excitement? Is it impatience? Is it healed? Do you have hopes and intentions of being in a more healed place or a more evolved place? What is this future you? What does this future you look like and feel like? And we're going to honor all of that with this next breath, taking a big inhale through your nose in this future you place. And a big exhale out your mouth. This past you brought you here, and this future you keeps you here. The past is the past. It can't be rewritten. It can be renegotiated. It can be healed. It can be attended to. It can be sat with. The future is not promised. It's the mind's trick. And this third breath is for the place that you are in at this exact moment. This you that is here with me right now in these minutes that we will share together. And as you sense this you that is here right now, you can even sense this fleeting feeling, because the minutes, the time, the seconds, they're passing faster than we can keep track. And so this now you is constantly, it's constantly changing. It's constantly becoming the past you. So it takes a real quality of practice to come into this now you. Bring all your attention into this now you, this place that you're in right now. This perfect you in this moment where everything is okay, where you're doing the best that you can, where you are solidly on your path, where you are in your faith, where you are in all of your relationships, where you are with your work, where you are with all of the things that you've learned and you haven't learned, with all the things that you've done and you haven't done. This exact moment in time where you are right now, this now you. And with this third breath, let's honor this now you place. Taking a big inhale through your nose and a big exhale out your mouth. For a long time, the tears ran like a faucet, abundant and fierce, full of emotion. Today, they come like stars in the Tahoe night, brilliant, solid, glistening, with a powerful tug. I want to tether myself to them and scream, "Hit it," and ride slalom through the night sky. Reckless, brave, fierce, life on fire, diamonds on my cheeks. When you're ready to flutter your eyes open and arrive here in this space with me, go ahead and flutter your eyes open, and arriving here like from this centered place, from this now you place, honoring the past you that brought you here in this exact moment with all that that means, and honoring also that there's a future you that you might be walking towards, or that you might have, that might have all kinds of stuff in it, like fear and hope and impatience and all that. I want to start with this idea of who you are. Who are you? Who am I? And this idea of feeling it all and being it all. I want to start here today. For those of you who participated in my offering called Manifesting Love, so many of you watching this started your journey with me right here so many years ago. I don't even know how many years ago that was. If you are somebody, a sister who was in Manifesting Love, and you remember the year that it was that you participated in Manifesting Love and you're watching this right now, would you put the date that you were in Manifesting Love in the comments so that I can honor you and how far you've come and how long ago that was? Those of you that are watching this and that started there, you know that I begin that program by asking you to consider the question, who am I? And the question, what is my story? And these questions, this is where I want to start today. These questions might seem simple on the surface. Or if you're like me, when I hear that question, who are you? You go straight into autopilot with a trained, repeated, and memorized response with these questions. Like it's like somebody says, "What's your story?" And you just launch right into an autopilot answer that you've memorized and that you've responded with every time you've been asked this question for years. This is exactly why I love to ask this question in a really intentional way and make a whole practice out of answering it, like really sitting with this question, who am I? And really answering it. Because if you answer it with things like what you do, or your career title, or any of your accomplishments, or anything that has to do with your work for that matter, there's more to it for you, and there's a whole bit of this who am I that you're missing. And so that's why I really love to make this into a practice. And what I'm about to talk about, this idea of who you are, literally is like, it is the essence, it is the biggest nugget on any kind of healing journey or spiritual journey. I just put those two words together all at once. It's the essence of this human experience. It's the essence of navigating being in the human body and a spirit at the same time. It's the essence of this work in what I'm trying to transmute and share with you in 3 days, which is that you get to answer that question based on the things that happen to you and how you digest them or integrate them or metabolize them or see them. And so I'm going to attempt to put this into a little capsule for today. But there's so much here. It's taken me literally most of my life to answer this question, and I'm still answering it. So it's never ending. And this is why I wanted to start with the 3 deep breaths, really thinking about and isolating these 3 parts of this journey of who am I. The journey started with who you were, right? And then it's who I am now, and it's also where I'm going to be with whatever the going to be is. It could be only 10 more minutes. It could be 1 more minute. Like, we don't know. I could collapse here on the screen. There's no promise of who you're going to be. And so for me, it's about right now, today, with this topic of child abuse and with this invitation that I'm giving all of us to consider when terrible things happen to us, especially as a child, when we have no there's no explanation for it as we come into this world perfect, and it's by someone else's hands. I'm asking us to consider thinking of the lessons in it, or trying to transmute it into something that is powerful for us, or something that is a lesson for us, or something that is love or beauty, or something that is beautiful. And that's a big, big, big request. That's a big, big request. For me, coming to this place on our path and answering this question, who am I, is so important. And so I want to start here, and I want to spend most of today's share with this practice, because this is essentially a lot of what I do in my own work with myself, and this is a lot of what I do in the work that I have the great honor of guiding with women. Who am I is very different than what do I do? And who am I is different than what I have experienced. And we'll get into this. For now, you can apply any answer that includes experiences that have left an imprint on your being. But what happens to your answer of the question, who am I, when you take the doing away? What happens to your answer when I tell you that you cannot answer with anything that you do, nothing that is mindful or full of the mind? You must answer with only the things that you are. And this is a beautiful practice. And this can inspire great curiosity. This is like a place to wander within yourself and stay there for a very long time, for like years, for decades, for maybe a whole lifetime. Who am I? And this is the stuff, this question is the stuff of philosophers, and the stuff of great artists, and the stuff of great poets and writers and theologians. And this question of who am I is like such a profound question, right? It's a beautiful practice, and it can inspire great curiosity. And okay, here's one little possible takeaway nugget for today, this practice of seeing who you are. This can be the thing that you take away from the 3 days, no matter what your childhood experience was, that you decide, okay, I feel that, and I feel like that's been part of my experience, and that's certainly part of my journey. And I know this, but Pat presenced it in such a way that I got a tingle, or it felt like something that I really should pay an extra little bit of attention to. So I'm going to sit here with this, and I'm going to practice this. And this is the thing that I know is for me. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to run with it. Perfect. All right. And then when we deepen in, so we take this question, who am I? And then when we deepen in and we apply the topic of this share, of child abuse or of any abuse for that matter, or of neglect, or of trauma, or of violence, does this change anything in your answer with the being part of who you are? I want to presence this and stay here for a moment. Okay. So we're walking on our paths together. We've wandered upon each other on our paths. Everyone's on a path. We're all on our own paths. And every once in a while, we meet each other on our paths. And I want to meet you here on this path. And I want to wander with you down this path of what happens when we ask ourselves the question, who am I? And we look beyond the surface of the quick answer. And we take away the possible answers that have anything to do with what we do in the world. Okay, so I'm stripping away some of the easy answers and I'm coming into a deeper place, and then we deepen in even more and we come into the place where, for those of us that have child abuse in our story, or any abuse, or have been neglected or traumatized or have experienced any violence personally, the question then becomes, does this change anything in your answer with the being part of who you are? Now, I could stop here and say, let's stay here in this place and let's like take a moment to write and to sit within ourselves and to meditate and to breathe and to be like muse the answers and get inspired about what your answers might be, and sit in the truth of what is true for you and feel all of that, and let's reconvene in a month. I would love to do that. Anybody interested in doing that who's watching this share right now, let me know. Please let me know, because I would love to do that. I would love to give this moment and this place on our shared path a lot of space. And then I would love to come back in a month and say, all right, what did you come up with? What was your answer? When you thought about the question, who am I? You took away all the doing and you deepened in to see what was under the surface and applied these topics of abuse and neglect and trauma and violence. Did it change your answer? And what is your answer? Who are you? Some of us might come up with the following possible answers. I'm careful. I'm honest. I'm a victim. I'm alone. I'm lonely. I'm isolated. I'm misunderstood. I'm distrusting. I'm afraid. I'm nervous. I'm anxious. I'm broken. I'm in pieces. I'm critical. I'm afraid. I have that twice on my list, which must be, my spirit speaking to me. I'm skeptical. I'm angry. I'm still that little girl. I'm a soul. I'm a woman. I'm feminine. I'm a goddess. I'm a queen. I'm God. I'm the divine. I'm holy. I am healed. And this is a peek at where we might be going with this. These aren't perfect answers, but these are things that have come to me in this contemplation of who I am. When I add this extra deepening in of, is any part of the answer to who I am in any given moment, in this moment, in this now moment, is any part of the answer to this question, who am I? Does anything have to do with the trauma, the violence, the neglect that I experienced? Does any of it have to do with that? And I think some of these answers that have come to me as I've practiced this, as I've contemplated this, as I've become curious about this, when I think about it, being afraid, being nervous, being critical, um, being this little girl, these are answers to this question, who am I, that definitely are related to the child abuse that I endured as a child. I'm careful. I'm distrusting. Knowing who we are on our own is a beautiful bit of awareness and an incredible focus point on any healing journey, especially my favorite on a spiritual journey. Who are you? Like, who are you? I mean, I love it. I love looking at people. I help so many women with this exact focus. And I'm in this practice myself forever, 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 and always, always, always. And I'm constantly evolving, and I'm giving myself permission to constantly evolve. The who am I answer is not like you put it on a plaque and you carve it in stone and you are that forever. That's just not how it works. That's certainly not my experience, and it's not my work. It's called a healing journey and a spiritual journey, and it's called a journey for a reason, because we're constantly moving, we're walking through life, we're learning, we're constantly learning, we're healing. It's a forever, I like to say, I'm whole, I'm healed, I'm holy. And I have this beautiful friend, Erica, Dr. Matluck, and she reminds me there's no such thing as being healed. In her lens and in her focus, there's no such thing as ever being fully healed. And I love that she feels that way. There's always something to attend to. So it's ever evolving. This answer, who am I, is not set in stone. This practice is worth your consideration and your considerable time for all of us, no matter what your story is as you're witnessing this masterclass, this share. I'm not just speaking to those of us with a similar experience of child abuse or neglect or trauma or violence. Because in truth, we often get this answer, who are you, in reflections or projections from each other. And in one of the best ways, we get it in our relationships. Remember the conflict with a friend that I mentioned to you lightly yesterday in the day 2 share? This conflict with her reflected back to me the things about me, some things about me. We're always mirroring to each other. And when you're on an intentional healing journey, a spiritual journey, you practice receiving these reflections. This is what the journey is all about. You practice receiving these reflections, because everyone you meet is a mirror. We're all mirroring back to each other always, 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 always. And the practice of knowing what is yours and what is not yours, of seeing, learning, and taking aligned action over and over and over again, that's the practice. And for years I was stuck in this first part, the first part of the practice, which is knowing what is yours and what is not. I would get a reflection from somebody, and I would feel it, or a projection from somebody. I would receive this reflection or projection and absorb it as mine or carry it as mine. When in fact it wasn't. It was just something showing me that I needed to love something. There was something there for me to love, whether it was in the other person or in myself, or something to adjust, or something to look at, something that needed my attention, something to release, something to heal, something to just see. Does this resonate with you? So we're walking around, all of us, and we're mirrors. And oftentimes we get this answer, who we are, from other people. This is one level of consciousness on this path of healing, on this spiritual path. When you pay more attention to what the reflection's telling you about yourself than sitting in the practice of answering the question for yourself. And this is so profound. The beauty of working on knowing this answer for yourself and with yourself is that you then are armed with this knowing of the truth of who you are according to you. not according to the reflections that you're getting or the projections that other people are projecting onto you, but of who you've sat with and decided, this is who I am. This is who I am. And when we're really honest with ourselves and we can apply any experiences that have informed this being of us, like abuse or trauma or neglect, and I've said this a lot in the last few days, this is really a place where a trusted, loving guide can come in handy and help you see and practice this. It's helped me tremendously. And I still work with several guides that I trust and several women that I trust that help me to see these parts of myself or deepen into these parts of myself that I can't see on my own or that I don't feel safe enough to go into on my own. And they lovingly guide me into these places. When you know who you are, the reflections and the projections carry less weight. When you know who you are, you can set intentions to heal, to rewrite or renegotiate the things that you want to adjust or heal so that you can be free, so that you can feel better, so that you can feel safer in your body, so that you can be in a healthier relationship, so that you can end a pattern of relationships, so that you can be less anxious, so that you can fill in the blank with your own set intention of whatever it is that you want to feel or be on this healing journey. And this brings me to a really important why of this particular moment on this path in this practice of seeing ourselves as who we are. Because this relates to the work that I do around polarity and the masculine and sacred union. Seeing who you are and sitting in this practice of asking yourself, who am I, gives you so much information to show up from a more centered place, from a more seeing and knowing place, to look at what you think about with like your connection to the masculine or to others in general, to the other, because the masculine is the other if you are identifying as a woman in a female body, wanting to lead with feminine energy. It's the other. If you're a man and wanting to lead with masculine energy, if this is how you identify, the other would be the feminine. And so coming into a really beautiful knowing of who you are, seeing yourself, this practice of seeing yourself on your own terms and defining it for yourself is really important in the work that I do. We take time here on our path to see ourselves where we are now so that we can do our best to find ourselves in partnerships that are serving us, so that we can heal patterns that bring us into partnerships and relationships that are echoing or mirroring our abuse or trauma. This is one of the strangest things about the human condition that I will never ever, that it constantly is constantly not surprising me, but I'm just in awe of how strange it is. That when you have a childhood experience of abandonment, for example, or of abuse, what happens until you attend to this part of yourself or heal this part of yourself or have some sort of acceptance of this part of yourself, that, and by that, this part of yourself, I mean that you experienced this and that this experience left an imprint on you, and this imprint is part of your being. Okay, so following that, and I'll deepen into that in a moment. When this is your experience and this is part of the energy of your being by the imprint of it, what typically happens if we don't attend to it or heal it or come into some deeper awareness about it is that we come into partnerships over and over and over again that relive this same, that echo or mirror this same type of abuse or trauma. And we're doing that subconsciously so that we can heal it, so that we can fix it, so that the outcome can be different. When in reality, what happens is we stay in a safe place. Our mind keeps protecting us and keeps us in a safe place. And we are just in autopilot. And so when we get ourselves into partnerships that are a little bit healthier on the other side of that. On what the other side of that might look like is that we find ourselves in partnerships where we can share our who am I with our partners so that they can see us too, so that they can see us better, and so that we can connect more deeply. Can you even imagine being in a partnership where you could each share your being statements with each other? The I am distrusting, or I am undeserving, or I am afraid. And you and your partner could be in this type of space, some call it a container, together, seeing each other, loving each other, and expanding with each other with this, from this deep knowing. I am this, I am that. Imagine, and it's with no attachment. We're going to get to that in a moment. But imagine, instead, we often don't spend any time here. We don't drop into this idea of we can define who I am and I can kind of come into some truth and anchor into the truth of who I am for myself first. We don't spend time here, or we hide these things or diminish these things. I'm having a beautiful conversation right now with one of my private clients about this, and we're both making lists of these things about ourselves that we would prefer not anybody, that no one sees. So we don't spend time here. We hide these things from ourselves and others. We diminish these things, and then they come out in projections, in patterns, in pain and suffering. In autopilot, we just manifest this, we manifest from this place, and it happens on both sides. And then we find ourselves in these relationships where we're not feeling safe or loved or seen, and it's sort of like the pattern, the pattern is repeating itself again. We find ourselves in a situation where we're not serving our highest purpose or in our highest version of ourselves. If your answer to the question, who am I, is I'm distrusting, or I'm afraid, or I'm not deserving, after deep practice and loving guidance and intentional going within, lots of love and grace and acceptance, if you come to these places like I have, where I'm like, okay, I'm afraid to put myself out there, or like I'm afraid of love because I'm afraid that I'll be abandoned. This is like a real truth when you are a survivor of child abuse. It's scary to put yourself fully into something because you are afraid, based on the imprint that this experience has left on you, that you are going to be abandoned. Or I'm not deserving. And that's an imprint too. I'm not deserving because from the time that I was a little girl, I was literally abused to the point where I didn't feel like I deserved anything more than that. So after some deep practice, loving guidance, intentional going within, lots of love and grace and acceptance, if these are the answers to your questions, then it's important to know that this energy, wherever you are with this answer, will lead you into attracting the like energy of this. The like energy of this. So many of us know this. And this is why we attend to it, because we know that even if this is our story, we want to get on the other side of it. We want to be in a healthy place with it. Okay, it might be the answer to our questions. So many of us know this. We know this. We know that the abuse, the trauma, the neglect, the wounds from our early life have left an imprint on who we are. And many of us know that our being has been influenced by this experience. And many of us know that this energy in our being drives our actions. And many of us know, because we find ourselves over and over and over again, that these driven actions are not serving us or don't feel aligned with the highest version of who we can be. We know this, we feel this, we remember this with each relationship that ends, or each painful breakup, or each rub, each misaligned connection. We feel it. It's mirrored back to us, all of it. And these mirrors become triggers. And the triggers are like flashlights. They take us right into that place of being imprinted by that experience that we have not attended to. And for those of you watching right now that don't know this yet, You're shaking your head and you're like, I don't know this yet. This doesn't feel like it resonates. Can you stay here for a moment and can you bookmark this? Can you timestamp the video in the share and the or the replay if you've come back to watch the replay? Like mark it in your notes. Like this is the time really when Pat asked me to stop. Can you pause the replay right now? And can you come back to this and finish this later? Can you spend some time within yourself right now asking yourself the question, who am I? For just a moment or as long as it takes you. And really sit here with the question, applying all of the things that might leave an imprint on your being to help you answer the question. And can you sense into yourself and see if you feel happy, aligned, in healthy relationships most of the time? Is there anything here for you, for your attention? Is there anything that, um, you know, what this really should be the connection for you to focus on right now, to get yourself to a place where you know the answer of who am I, and based on this answer of who am I, do I feel happy and aligned and in healthy relationships most of the time? And if the answer is yes, perfect, because this is where we're going. This is the future you. I'm happy and aligned and in healthy relationships most of the time. And I want to say that, like, I want to push pause and just like do a little aside and say, this is what we're supposed to feel, a small supposed to, because there's no really supposed to's. It's all divine. I feel like this is really what most of our days are supposed to be filled with: feeling happy, aligned, and in healthy relationships. We came here to feel happy, aligned, and in healthy relationships. And the quest is, the journey is, how do we get there? And for some of us, we have these obstacles in the way: child abuse, big teachers, experiences that shake us, challenges, mountains to climb. And these things get our attention, and then we climb them, we heal them, we adjust them, we learn from them, so that we can feel happy, aligned, and in healthy relationships most of the time. And this is really the point. This is really it. This is the why. So answering this question, who am I, is the place. It's really the place to be and to spend some time. Who am I? And if you're feeling inspired by this practice and wanting to deepen into this, like, do this, answer this question, who am I, for 30 days in your morning practice. Put the question, who am I, at the top of a page, a new page every day, and just give yourself permission to free write your answer, whatever comes up for you in that day, on this prompt of the question, who am I, for 30 days. And if you're feeling like this is a nugget that's inspiring you to do something creative or be something creative, or, you know, be in yourself in a depth that you haven't experienced yet, and you want to share it in the collective, oh my goodness, that would be beautiful. If I've touched on something here and you want me to guide you or hold you accountable, that would be beautiful. Who am I? Who are you? Without the doing, who are you? I want to just like tune to a different dial now and share like the real big, like beautiful bit of magic here. It's magic, what I'm about to share. It's a secret, but not really. And it's the turning point for a lot of us. There is potential magic in this big secret. It's a hack. And this is the turning point where this answer, who am I, turns into something else. With this answer of who am I, after some time with it, there comes a time, inevitably, for the magic of healing and awareness to happen. And this is very simply to know the following things. And it comes to you very naturally when you're on this path, and when you're sitting with yourself, and when you're doing the work to answer the question, who am I? With this answer of who am I, after some time with it, there comes a time for the magic of healing and awareness to happen. And this is very simply to know this: you are not this abuse. You are not this trauma. You are not the neglect. And you are not the violence. There are so many more "you are not" statements that I could share here, but you get the point. You are not any experience that has happened to you. You were, and maybe are, influenced by it, both the beautiful and the terrifying. We don't get to just pick the beautiful parts of our life. If an experience happened to you and it was beautiful, beautiful. If an experience happened to you and it was terrifying, and that still has left an imprint on you. That has still left an imprint on you. It left an imprint on you. It taught you something. And you are learning and healing and transmuting. You are. This is the magic. This is the secret. And this is the turning point. And I don't know when it is that you'll find yourself in this exact place. But if you are indeed on a healing journey, and if you are indeed on a spiritual journey, which means that you have faith and that you trust that you're on a divinely led path, you will, in my experience, inevitably find yourself here in this place where someone will tell you, if I'm the first one to tell you this today, amen. Here it is. Hear it. I'll say it again. You are not this abuse. You are not this trauma. You are not this neglect. And you are not the violence that happened to you. You are not the violence that happened to you. The magic is learning this. And here it is. The secret is beginning to believe this, to feel this, to know this. And here it is. And the turning point is when you really know this to be your truth too. And there is a difference between the things that have influenced who you are and who you are. How has the teacher of child abuse influenced you? How has the teacher of child abuse, or the teacher of fill in the blank, for all of us, just bringing it to apply to all of us watching, all of you watching this, all of us. How has the teacher of whatever it is influenced you? Do you see how I just did that? We went from waiting in the density of being in it to stepping to the other side of it. We are survivors of child abuse. We are influenced by the teacher of child abuse. We are healed healers in our being and beautiful doing. This is who we are. How has this teacher influenced who you are? When I ask myself that question and apply the teacher of child abuse, I might come up with some of these answers that I'll share with you. These are my personal answers. It has made me more sensitive to abuse in general. This is a fact. When I see anything that feels like abuse in my body, as I have this sensitivity in my body of what abuse is, I am so sensitive to it. And that, like, you could take that nugget of how this teacher has influenced me. I could take that nugget. This has made me sensitive to abuse in general. I could expand on that in a whole masterclass, and how that manifests in relationships, and how that gives us, me and my beloved, something to really work on in a container of a relationship, because I have such a sensitivity to anything that my body or my nervous system or my being, might sense into being abuse. So it has made me more sensitive to abuse in general. When I witness it in the world, I have a great sensitivity to it. Um, I have it, it's made me more sensitive to abuse in general. It has brought my attention to things that I want to heal. This is one thing that the teacher of child abuse has influenced. That's one of the ways in which it has influenced who I am. It has brought my attention to the things that I want to heal. Very directly, the exact things that I want to heal in myself. It has inspired my lifelong healing journey. Some of us might say, well, I could have done without that. That's just not how it works. It has made me the healer that I am today. It has given me the gift of loving myself more deeply. When I look at it like this, it feels powerful, unique, divine, like one of my gifts even. I have transmuted it. And this has been my lifelong journey with this teacher, my way. You can sense this in me and where I am and who I am with what I share. You can see it in me and feel it in me. And this is precisely why women hire me to guide them. And this is it. For me, this is it. I wouldn't change anything in my experience if I knew that it would bring me right here with all of you, doing this deep work with women to touch their lives for the better. It's crazy to say this out loud, but it makes it all worth it. It is so clear to me that it's divine because of the way that it has, the way that I have experienced it in my life. And it's because of the ways in which I have been able to see myself, define myself, accept the story, remove my being from the experience, find ways in which it's taught me things or influenced my experience, heal beyond that, renegotiate that, transmute that into love, bring it back into the purest essence of who I am. It's transmuting it, it's throwing it into the fire of what it is not. Throw it into the fire, the thing that is not in truth to you, and transmute it into something that is aligned with you. And this is the beauty of being human. We can see it unfold. I've shared my unfolding, my entire life's unfolding of this healing journey out loud with the world my whole life. It's just how I am. Not everybody's that way. People are more private with their healing. But I have, at least the last 30 or 40 years, no, maybe the last 30 years, I have been healing out loud. I have been healing, and this unfolding of my journey, I have shared it with the whole world. And a lot of that is because of Dharma, because of destiny, because of the divine plan that I'm here to be a teacher. And I feel that so, so clearly. And it's just part of the plan. So it comes naturally. And part of that is because I know in doing that, love rushes in. So I've done it all along the way for purely selfish reasons. Sometimes when I have felt alone, and by sharing my story, I know the love is going to rush in, and then I feel some connection. I feel like I'm not alone. I feel loved. I want to read to you just a little paragraph that touched me deeply as I was preparing for this masterclass share from Cole Arthur Riley's book, This Here Flesh. It's on page 190. In Beloved, Toni Morrison famously writes, freeing yourself was one thing. Claiming ownership of that freed self was another. She nods toward a process by which our liberation is both found and operated within. You may very well find the table, but when will you take the first bite? Will you look up and really see yourself? To have the audacity to be and love and know yourself in a world content to have you live your days in hiding, this is bliss. This allows you to move in a world in a way that isn't jealous of other people's freedom, but desires it for them. You begin to crave it for those in your midst because liberation loves company. It is not threatened by another person's identity because liberation is not a scarcity. It can only affirm itself in another person. Gently, slowly, softly, take the bits of this share, reflections on your story, sit in the heart of yourself, and know that you can decide at so many intersections on your path which direction to take. And there is no wrong way to go. Literally, bringing you back to the faith the very, very first day. If we are indeed walking a divinely led path, there is no wrong way to go. In my experience, realizing that you are walking on this divine path, led fully by by something above your soul, your spirit, but that you're walking it in this body, thank goodness, because without this body, none of this would exist. And in this body, you get to decide, who am I? Am I the experience that happened to me, the abuse, the trauma, the neglect, or am I beyond it, influenced by it, healing it, healed from it? Claiming it is one thing, living it is another, and practicing it is an all day, every day, over and over and over again process of forgetting and remembering, forgetting and remembering. And this is the beautiful and painful human experience. And if you're here with me in this place, welcome home, sister. Welcome home. I wanted to share this glimpse of my lifelong healing journey, the nuggets of what I've learned, and some things that have been magic and secrets and turning points for me. And I wanted to be very deliberate about using my story so that this abuse and trauma doesn't hide in the shadows or have a certain face or fate. It's my story, it's my truth, and it has left an imprint on me. It has influenced who I am. And I'm living beyond it in the most beautiful way that I know how to, transmuting pain into love over and over and over again, finding myself again and again in each relationship, deepening into my own partnership within myself and now beyond, in a beloved relationship with this man that I've fallen in love with. All of it mine, and all of it as a whole, healed, and holy human. And I did not do any of it alone. I've had a team of teachers and healers and many books and resources and inspirations and so many practices and trainings and things along the way. I've learned many, many, many things that have helped me, and I've leaned on my faith, my trust in God, my yoga, movement, beauty, poetry, writing, nature, intuitive healers, spiritual teachers, Kundalini and Bhakti, pilgrimages to holy places, studying faiths and religions, all healing, all answering the question, who am I? Who am I with this influence and imprint of my experience? Living beyond it with my whole heart and an incredible amount of love and support. I'm here to support you on your journey, and I want you to know all of the ways in which I can support you, because we've come to this place in the masterclass where I want to be fully present with you with where you are. I have very beautifully and carefully curated this experience that I call a Soften journey. It's an 11-month journey from start to finish. The first part of it is a 2-month journey called Honoring Your Inner King. It's parts work where we really isolate this part of you that is your inner masculine. And the purpose of this 8-week journey and start, it's a prerequisite to the whole Soften journey, is to create this strong foundation for you to deepen into the bigger, like the bigger parts of you. If there's a bigger part, like the feminine, or the heart of you, or the open part of you, it will come out in this work. And it also helps us to deepen into our relationship with the masculine and with men. So it's very, very specific work. And all of my work is for women only. Honoring your inner king is the very first place and the prerequisite for the whole journey, the soften journey. And you could do honoring your inner king and stop there. My hope is that you'll commit to the whole journey. From honoring your inner king, we take 1 month of integration time, and then we come back together in circle to a circle called the vow. We read Alison Armstrong's book called The Queen's Code. We take a vow and we learn about men, and we deepen into what we believe to be true about them and what our heart's desire is for being in partnership with them. We take another month, that's a 12-week circle, the vow. We take another month to integrate. We come back together for the next 12-week circle, which is called embody, and we focus on practices and embodiment of this wisdom. We take another little break and we come together in person for a pilgrimage to Mary Magdalene's cave in the south of France. We take another little break and we finish the soften journey with this circle called Open, guided by David Data's book, Dear Lover. And it's the most beautiful circle that I facilitate, that I have the honor of facilitating, really, really, really coming into the deepest expression of the love that we all are, and practicing, 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 staying open as the love that we are. This is the full journey, the soften journey, and this is probably the biggest way that I could support you on healing any trauma, abuse, anything that comes up, anything that you're feeling like you want to heal. And this is a really beautiful healing journey and spiritual journey, and I'm really proud of it and leading so many women through this, and I just love it. The second place where I could support you is my Soften Sanctuary. It's my monthly membership. And this place is a private, it's a private website space, but it's mostly a private Instagram where I do weekly live practices, 2 weekly live practices, one on Monday called 3 Deep Breaths, anchoring into the power of breath and coming into your center and attuning to your truth. And then a Thursday practice, which is called the Vault. And this is a practice especially important for any of us who hold a lot of emotion in our bodies, or haven't had an opportunity to feel or learn or trust the emotions that we feel that are stored in our body. The Vault is an embodiment practice where I guide us. And both of these practices are 30 minutes long. They're bite-sized piece practices, where I guide us through embodiment practices and coming into beautiful conversation with all kinds of emotions that are stored in our body so that we can feel softer. And there's a third practice that I do once a month called the Soften practice, which is a combination of bhakti and kundalini and pranayama and all the things that I am. And there's also some ceremony and ritual and mantra and focus and sisterhood in this Soften sanctuary space. And it's $22 per month. And it's a place where you could find yourself and be guided very beautifully to stay in your practices and to feel the love of my heart and sisterhood. I have just 1 or 2 spots of private mentorship open. I only take 7 spots per year because that time is really, really, I want to be fully present. I have a couple spots open currently. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. If you're coming back to watch the replay, you can go to the place on my website where private mentorship is and apply to see if I have an opening. But private mentorship is, I meet with women once a week for an hour by Zoom, and then we do a follow-up 30-minute call on Fridays. And we deepen into wherever it is on your path, and I support you fully with all that I am and all that I know. I have my Instagram, Whole Healed Holy, and this private Facebook group where I'm streaming this into live, the Soften Facebook group. These are places where you can easily find me and kind of stay in the background and just receive, receive, receive. And there's lots of free stuff there always. I'm sharing my heart. I'm offering a masterclass every month. And it's beautiful sisterhood, and it's kind of a place where we can all gather and just like support each other. If anything that I've shared here has given you a tingle or triggered you or given you a curiosity, I would love for you to set up a private call. You can do this anytime. You can send me an email anytime. I am here, and it would be my honor to guide you in any way, to help you deepen into any of these things, to discuss with you how you might have a different opinion or a different perspective or a different approach. I love that. This is just my approach and my experience. It's not the one all be all, and it's certainly not a one size fits all thing. So I want to close this share by thanking you again for joining me. Thank you for being open to hearing my story, and thank you for the ways in which your heart has opened to me in these 3 days, to witnessing me, to the possibility of the wisdom that I've shared, to being inspired. And as we close our time together, I invite you to close your eyes and to bring your energy back into your center, into your heart. So if we can close our eyes together. And just take a few deep, full, soft breaths here and center yourself. Come back into your center. Gather your energy from this space. Take all your energy back. What is yours is yours. And as I slip away from this space for now and complete this share, what is mine is mine. May you feel inspired in some way. May you feel served in some way. May you feel loved in some way. May you feel that your participation here has touched your life for the better in some way. This is my highest wish for all of us. And take a moment to feel into this share, into the full 3 days, into this topic, into what is true for you, into how you feel with all of it right now. With this question, who am I? And without thinking too much right now, witness the very first word that comes to you as you answer this question, who am I? Breathing into this word, holding it close. May you feel whole, may you feel healed, and may you feel holy. I love you so much. Fluttering your eyes open again. Please be sure to take a moment for some proper aftercare. Write, cry, contemplate, dance, sing, take a walk in nature, shower yourself or bathe yourself, sage yourself, call a dear one, create something beautiful, eat some chocolate cake, do some beautiful aftercare after you come out of this energy, after you come out of this 3-day share. And just a few requests, if I may. If this share moved you in any way, please take a moment to express this in some way, in your own way. Take it beyond your heart and touch another heart with it. If it's mine that you want to touch my heart with it. Send me back a note or share something on social media. I would love that. If it's another person's heart that you feel inspired to touch through this work or your participation here or witnessing this share, please, 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 please touch it. Don't keep it to yourself. If you're here live with me in this moment, what word came to you when I asked you to answer this question really quickly without thinking too much? Who am I? If you want to put it in the comments below, I would love that. If you're coming back to watch the replay and you just did that little exercise with us, or you want to do it on your own and come back and share the word, I would love that. What was your word to answer this question, who am I? For those of you in the private Facebook space here, please find your way to guide number 10 with all of the support materials for this live share. If you have comments or questions or you want to deepen in with me, I'm right here. I love you so much. And it's been a big honor for me to be able to share this personal story with you in my private space where I feel very safe with all of you. And to those of you that are just joining me in these last days, these most recent days who are just coming into my space, please know that I love you and that I'm so grateful that you've joined and that I feel you here and that I'm looking forward to getting to know you better. And I invite you to take up all the space that you need here in this space. Okay? I love you so much. I'll be back in May with my next masterclass. And I'm right here. Would really love so much to hear if anything in this share, in this masterclass, and on this topic touched you and how it touched you. And would love more than anything to connect with you heart to heart in a deeper, more private way if this feels like it's something that's kind of aligned with your desire, your heart's desire. Okay, until next time, I love you. Ciao.